Must be moving in more. Keep waiting to see you pull a blanket in the bed. Morning. Well, you think we'll be able to try it today?
Yeah.
You gonna try the new combine today?
This afternoon.
Today, we are eventually gonna run some corn. But for now, I am gonna be working on trenching some electric. So if you've been following the channel for any amount of time, you know that my wife and I are building a house, and I've been talking about having to trench electric and water all summer. Every time I've had the opportunity to do that, something else has came up and it just hasn't happened. Well, cousin Ben has loaned me his skid steer. Ours has an issue with it at the moment, so I'm going to try to get some of that trenching done. So we got a Boehner boom trencher right over there. Mounts to a skid steer. Hopefully make quick work of this, but I got 1,500 feet of electric and about 4,000 feet of water. So I don't know how quick it's gonna go. Probably not very quick. Nope. Yeah, that's better.
Well, I was about to tell you that we're going to try to do some corn, and then we got to get the cloth, the old cloth, out so we can unfold our corn head, because the new cloth doesn't have a fold switch. So I guess I really haven't talked about this 8700 that's sitting in the shop the last couple of days. This is a demo combine. This is not our combine. We did not trade, or we did not buy an auction combine. In the last video, Dad called about a used 7500 cloth that's on a website right now. It's a pretty good price. It's a 2-year-old machine with pretty low hours, but we're trying to figure out if we would be better off going to one large machine instead of running 2 machines. This is a subject I could talk myself into one or the other depending on the day, but anymore it does seem like most of the time, by the time we get everything moved and get started, we only run 2 machines for a few hours in beans. And if we went to one big combine that we could run faster and run a bigger head, I don't think we'd be a whole lot less efficient, if any. And I think we'd be able to run corn a lot faster. So this 8700 here and an 86, either one, I would think would be able to run a 12 row, 5 to 6 miles an hour pretty easy. So that's what we're thinking. Now, if you're new to Claas machines, an 8700 is a class 9 combine. So that would be the same size as a 790. But in my opinion, that combine there could run just as much corn as an X9 combine. I don't know if you'd run out of power. They do make a size bigger machine. They make an 8800 and I believe an 8900 Claas. Those are 10 and 11 classes. I think the 8800 is the only one available in the United States. I don't think they offer the big one in the USA. But we would not want one that big. Really, a Claas 8600 would be perfect for us for the most part, unless we went with a 50-foot draper head. Well, with a 50, I would want a 9. This 9 here, this demo unit, has an auger big enough to run a 50. Now, the demo head they brought us, this is a Claas Convio draper head. It is not a 50, it is only a 40-foot head because they sold their other heads. This is the only head they had. This was, when we were pricing the Gleaner, this was a head that Dad was very interested in. Basically, if we'd have bought a new Claas 3 years ago, we'd have had one of these heads. Lots of intrigue here. Don't know much about it. I know it has a much sharper knife than ours. Anyways, looking forward to running it, and looking forward to running this 8700. Now, I'm sure people are wondering, why not another Gleaner? For one thing, our Gleaner, we are running the biggest draper head we can run on it due to the auger. And if we go down to one machine, definitely, we want to go with a bigger draper head. So unless something changes in the future that I'm not aware of, the Gleaner is not capable of fitting that need for us at the moment. I really, really like our Gleaner combine. I have no complaints with it. We've had some issues. Fun fact for you, that 740 Claas that Dad's riding in now that a lot of people seem to think is Old Faithful, it's been very faithful. It's had a limited amount of acres on it this last few years. We were looking at it, we have put around, Dad's got the exact figures in the desk, I want to say $90,000 in repairs and upkeep over the last 7 years on that machine. And then the first 3 years we spent a lot of money on it. So they all break down, they all have issues. We just want to be able to run a bigger head. And I'd really like automation. So this is a fully autonomous combine, and I think that would be pretty sweet. Anyways, that got a little windy. Now, Dad is, like I say, unfolding this so we can run this 12 row on this head, or this combine. Well, we've encountered a slight issue, logistical issue. We have only ever ran this head on a narrow body Claas. This is a wide body Claas. Our drive shafts are too long. So we're going to take one off and see if we can cut one off and still use it on our head as well, or our combine. I think we can. I think there's plenty. It's kind of one of the things we need to check. I got a feeling this thing might become a custom shaft. How was everybody's day?
Good. I saw you at lunch.
Yep. Couldn't help but notice you had a Yankum sweatshirt on. Did you know that we are Yankum affiliates and you can use the code in the description to get a discount on any Yankum products?
Did I do that right?
You did great. So Kayla's just getting home from work. My mother-in-law picks our kids up every day across the road and brings them over here, so can't thank her enough for that. Plus, she's also been providing grub. Say it's a foot wider? Like shafts stick out a foot wide?
Stick out a foot.
Yeah, okay.
Wider, 6 inches more on each side.
Noticed? One other thing we've noticed, these filler plates, they need to come out. Because, well, we don't need those. But yeah, they need to go. We might have effed around and found out. Combine should be cheaper now, right? Just dawned on us that we don't have to be cold. We can put the door up and pull this thing in here, and 12 inches off those drive shafts, so might as well pull the combine in here. Probably first time this has been off. I think we're ready now. I guess we start pushing buttons. Get over here. Huh. Moving. Do it right. Dad's turn.
Yeah, them are wide. Usually that's not where we're running. If some varieties, I'll tell you, it's...
You don't have to set park brake. It's automatic.
Oh, okay. Well, if you did a good job, I was clean. No comment,
Yeah.
really.
We got the auto thresh or auto cleaning and auto separation on.
Oh, okay.
So we are running our corn head on this machine, and that is the problem at the moment. I think a lot of it is because this corn head hasn't been used in a really long time. This year we've harvested maybe 5 acres with that corn head. The day that the wheel fell off the gleaner, second day of harvest, we got our 740 out. We ran 1 or 2 rounds and then we blew a tire on it. So it has not ran a lot of corn, and the deck plates aren't opening up very freely. And basically I can only run about 4 miles an hour and I would plug that head. Now our Capello on our gleaner has been a problem. That head has been bulletproof for the 10 years that we've had it. So I don't know what's going on there. I assume it's just those deck plates not really doing their thing. I'm hoping as we run it and it frees up and loosens up, that won't be an issue. But right now it's leaving a little bit to be desired. We're really not getting to take advantage of the big machine that we're running. This combine should be able to run with that 12 row, 5,000 bushels an hour pretty easily in good corn. This is good corn. This is 250 bushel corn. we should be able to see some big numbers. It's just breaking the whole plant off and taking all the corn plant in. That's not ideal. You start getting some stuff like that. But on the ground, I mean, we're getting some butt shelling, but really not as bad as I was expecting. Now we're back through here a ways. We'll walk behind the combine, get out of the line of fire. I think does a really beautiful job spreading the chaff. Pretty impressed with that so far. Let's go over here to the side. That's the easiest way to tell if we got header loss or combine loss. Over here, not much corn on the ground at all. Yeah, I wish we could get that header dialed in because, man, I'd really like to run that combine 5.5, 6 miles an hour because it would definitely handle it. Uber?
It's not yellow cap anymore. He's not really setting a speed record right now. Look at that spread pattern. So spread patterns are important because that's organic matter you're putting back on the ground. One thing our gleaner does not do well is spread, and there's a lot of combines that don't spread well. I feel like this spreader's doing pretty good, but basically if you put all the organic matter in one spot and you run the same AB lines every year, eventually that's going to be a problem. You're just going to have some inconsistencies. So this Claas has a 515 bushel grain tank. I'm curious to see, dumping on the go, how much we end up with.
Curious to see how many trips back and forth before it ends up on the cab.
But it came pre-corn.
I saw that.
Yeah, it was already pre-corn. The engine had cab corn.
Yep, real far commute. Need to walk out here and check our leg. Dad just dumped a load into the wet bin, I believe, but I still want to double check. Looks like we are set right. One of my big regrets about this grain setup is that we didn't use an electronic distributor like we have at the old one. Go tell that in here. Now, this one's manual. You would think I would be less likely to break, but not always. Not too shabby.
Evening. I was handed a camera and told to film a Lexion. And there it is. The lights would appear to be a little bit underwhelming.
Looky there.
Well, I mean, I don't know about this variety.
That's the thing. know, you buy a big ass combine, keep four, here you are, this kind of right, you can't do what
Right.
you do. So what do you do? You know, with a different head too?
I don't know if the different heads are doing any different on this or not. I don't know.
Yeah. And every place, I want to see what their head would do.
Right.
You know, every variety's different. But nobody ever says that, oh, this combine's going to do this 5,000 or 6,000 moves an hour, this and that. If everything's right, probably so,
Right.
you know, but so many times, it ain't always right.
Look like on the pit.
I never looked. In the cab, it looks nice, like in the window. But looking at the sample here, not really any cob in it. Kind of nice. Now, one thing I did notice, it did seem like there was a little bit more damaged kernels than I was used to seeing in our gleaner. That's kind of the nature of Claases. These newer series, the green and white ones, have a bigger rotors, bigger cylinder, so they should be a little gentle on crop. After I seen that, I did turn the speeds down, so I guess I haven't been in the combine since then. I guess I'm going back in. I figured I wouldn't see the cab of this thing till tomorrow. This is my first time running this thing in the dark, and I gotta say, I like it. I like everything about this combine for the most part. One thing that does surprise me is there's non-LED lights on the front of it. There's two LEDs, and then the bottom ones shining down are regular older style lights, or they're just a different color, but I don't think they're LED. They're not very white. I don't know if that's intentional. I don't know if that cuts through the dust better, in their opinion, or what. Kind of surprising. I'm going to take a shot in the dark that this combine probably costs $900,000 list, roughly. I don't know what it would sell price at, but it's like, man, 900 grand, you can't get LEDs all the way around it. It seems kind of odd. I mean, the side lights, those are LEDs, and those are nice. I like that they shine down and out. You can see really well over there. That's nice. I like that. I wish our corn head would cooperate, because I'd really like to push this thing. But I like this monitor. So this is our grain quality monitor. We're taking a snapshot every so many seconds, and it's identifying if we got kernel damage. So like when you see let's see here, let's see if I can get this camera to focus. So like when you got an outline around that kernel or that kernel, that's kernel damage. For the most part, it looks pretty good. I like the bushel counter. I like the feet till full. That's pretty cool. The automation's doing its thing. Now, we are not auto threshing, we are auto cleaning though. Yeah, so far really liking this. So there's our power load. We probably are using a lot of power pulling in that much fodder. I really wish this hybrid wasn't breaking off, but it is phenomenal corn. We're probably going to keep planting this hybrid. We're just going to have to deal with it when we harvest. Now, obviously, if we had ran this sooner and not let it get so dried out, this wouldn't have been as big of an issue. This corn's running 18.5% moisture. That's pretty handy. I like that spout cam. Last 12 rows of this field. Pretty good. Glad we're getting it off there, because where we've taken the ends off before, it's kind of getting windy. The tops are breaking out. This corn was extremely healthy, but you know, we're just it's October 31st. Happy Halloween! But yeah, this corn's been frosted several times, and it's just, you know, it's not as healthy as it was a month ago. Still standing, but I think that's part of the reason why we're breaking off the whole crop. All right, we're done. Perfect. We're gonna park this thing, put some stuff up, and yeah, hopefully it does not rain. There was actually a chance of rain tonight all of a sudden. That was unexpected. Hope not, because I'd like to run this thing tomorrow. We're having a good time. Hopefully in the next variety, this doesn't break off quite as much, and we don't have to take in the whole corn plant, because I'd really like to see what this thing will do. I think trying to get rid of 12 rows at 6 miles an hour, it's going to be quite fun, and I think we can do it. and I think we can get a lot of stuff done. That's the goal tomorrow. We'll see how it turns out. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you would, do me a favor, thumbs up the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Drop us a comment. I'm sure there's questions. There's been a lot going on today. Getting this thing up and going and whatnot, so I'm sure I forgot to answer some things that I figured would be questioned. But, yeah, we're having a ball. This is a lot of fun. This is the first Class 9 combine Dad and I've ever ran, and it's really nice having that much power. Can't wait to try it in beats. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Excellent. Now it's snowing. This is a sign. Definitely getting snow flurries. Wonderful.